Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 1st, 2026, and Barcelona have inquired about Joao Cancelo. Also, Barcelona are set to finalize the signing of the Egyptian gem Hamza Abdel Karim. And finally, interest and inquiries will not stop, will not cease for Roony Bardaghji. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. Happy New Year to all my lovely Barca News family. I'm making this second video of the day. If you haven't seen the first one yet, go check it out. There's a lot of good news. As I told you in that video, I'm currently away from home visiting friends and family for the New Year's, but I will be back home Sunday, and until then, I will be making these short lives every day to keep you up to date on our beloved club, FC Barcelona, the greatest club in the world. Now let's dig right into the news because Barcelona have inquired into Joao Cancelo. Now, as you know, Joao Cancelo has not been featuring much for Al Hilal, where he currently is playing in Saudi Arabia. In fact, his coach in Ghazi has completely pretty much dropped him out of his plans, does not count on him. And as such, Joao Cancelo is looking to return to Europe because not only does Ingazi not count on him, he's actually not too happy with the life in Saudi Arabia. Now, it's reported that Joao Cancelo has offered himself to Barcelona through his agent, Jorge Mendes, someone that Barcelona do a lot of business with. And now Barcelona have actually launched an inquiry because they're like, oh, hey, Joao Cancelo is available. He would like to come. Let's find out. What do we have? So they reached out to Joao Cancelo's agent, Jorge Mendes, and to Al Hilal to see what the deal is, how much it would cost to bring him, etc. And while it appears that Al Hilal would like for whomever takes Joao Cancelo on loan during the winter transfer market to cover half of his salary. Now, how much is Joao Cancelo's salary? It's 15 million euros. Now, of course, you're not paying for the full season. You're only paying for a half a season because he's coming in the winter. So half of 15 is 7.5. You only have to cover half of that. Half of 7.5 is approximately 3.75 million euros. So if Barcelona want to bring Joao Cancelo, they would have to pay his salary, which is 3.75 million euros from the winter until the end of the season. Now, I have to say, I think this would be an incredibly dumb idea to do because we all saw how Joao Cancelo performed at Barcelona. Offensively, don't get me wrong, he gave us some great moments, some great goals, but defensively, that guy was pretty much a zero. He was always up. He was more of a left winger than an actual, or a winger, because sometimes he would play on the right, than an actual defender. He would never, ever defend. And he used to have some pretty big gaffes, some pretty big mistakes and bluffs that you would like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're supposed to be a professional. He was an absolute disaster. In fact, Xabi at some points played him as a winger because defensively speaking, he was just pretty much, he did not contribute. So to me, this would be a huge mistake. But nonetheless, Barcelona have lodged an inquiry to see what the status of Cancelo is. This doesn't mean that Barcelona will sign him. This is, if a player is offering himself, you have to at least find out how much it would cost to bring him. We'll see if Barcelona act upon this. I hope not. I don't think Flick would want to because, after all, Flick was given the option to sign Cancelo and Joao Felix, and he said no to both. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll keep track of the situation. And, of course, I will be here to tell you all about it. Now, speaking of Joaos, Barcelona are set to miss on another Joao. Well, on a different Joao. A Joao that Barcelona actually wanted and had been tracking for quite some time. And it's no other than Joao Victor de Souza. Or de Souza. I don't know. I'm not too good with the Portuguese names. But Joao Victor de Souza, he's a left back at Santos, one of the most promising players currently in Brazil. They've actually nicknamed him as the new Marcelo. They're saying that his qualities, his profile is incredibly similar to Marcelo and that he is the heir of Marcelo and a Brazilian squad. Now, Joao Victor de Souza was actually a key figure in preventing Santos from relegation. It's crazy that we're even talking about Santos facing relegation, being that it's always been a powerhouse in Brazilian football. But nonetheless, Joao Victor de Souza is someone that Barcelona have been tracking for quite some time. They were very, very interested in signing him. However, it looks like Barcelona will end up missing out on this signing because Barcelona have not made any moves because, of course, right now their priorities are other positions. And given that Barcelona's financial fair play and the economy, we cannot sign every player that we would like to sign. We have to, prioritize. And since Joao Victor de Souza was someone that Barcelona really wanted, but was not a priority, they didn't really make any moves, and now it looks like AC Milan have submitted a 10 million euro offer to sign the Brazilian left back. Now, during the summer, Santos made it very clear they were not going to accept anything below 12 million. So we'll see if AC Milan offer gets rejected and then they make a new one. But either way, there's a lot of interest in the player. In fact, the company that owes Chelsea, Blueco, it's reported that they're getting ready to make an offer to sign Joao Victor de Souza for Strasbourg, a different team that they also own. Anyways, it's unfortunate, but that's the situation. We cannot sign every player because, unfortunately, our finances just do not allow us. All right, on to the next bit of news because we have to talk about a player that Barcelona will be signing, and it's someone we've been talking about for quite some time, Hamza Abdelkarim, the Egyptian gem, the Egyptian center forward who's currently playing at Al Ahly. Now, as you know, Barcelona's plan is to sign Hamza Abdelkarim on a free loan during this winter transfer market so he could spend the rest of the season with Barça Athletic, where we need attackers, because Victor Barbera and Oscar Gistao have both been injured. And then Barcelona, of course, want to reserve an option to buy in case Hamza Abdelkarim does end up impressing. We can sign him on a permanent basis, keep him at Barça Athletic, and who knows, maybe one day he can become a first-team player. Now, Barcelona's initial offer had been rejected by Al Ahly, but then they made an improved offer, and it's reported that Al Ahly's committee met with their president, and they are set to accept that offer, and Barcelona are set to complete the signing in the next few upcoming days, especially since today Hamza Abdelkarim turned 18 years old. So legally speaking, he will be able to join Barcelona. Now, Hamza Abdelkarim had already reached an agreement with Barca to join, so the player already had said yes, even though he had interest from many European clubs. The only thing left was, of course, reaching an agreement with the club, with Al Ahly, who are now set to accept Barcelona's offer. And Barcelona's offer is the option to buy. Initial offer was 1.25 million. That went up to 1.5 because the first offer was rejected. Variables. Barcelona had initially offered 3 million in variables. That was rejected. They upped it to 5 million. And then Barcelona had initially offered 10% of any future sales. That was rejected. And now they increased it to 15% of any future sales, and Al Ahly are set to accept this offer again. Free loan in the winter transfer market with an option to buy worth 1.5 million euros fixed, plus 5 million euros in variables, and 15% of any future sales. So definitely good news for Barcelona and for Barça Athletic, with many sources saying that Hamza Abdelkarim is actually an incredibly promising player. So who knows? We might have signed our future center forward for the first team in this winter transfer market. We'll have to wait and see, of course, how he adapts, how he develops, how he learns the Barca system, and how he adapts to European football. Anyway, speaking of attackers, we will end today's video by discussing another Arab player who is Roony Bardaghji, because Roony Bardaghji, well, the offers, the inquiries will not stop. Clubs continue to call Barcelona day and night to see what the situation of Roony Bardaghji is. Clubs including Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and Atletico Madrid, amongst others, because there's also a lot of more middle-tier clubs that have been inquiring about Roony Bardaghji. Now, despite not getting a lot of minutes, the club are very happy with Roony Bardaghji. They're very happy with his performance. They're not looking to sell him. Flick is not looking to get rid of him either. They know that there's a lot of matches upcoming and that Lamine Yamal is not going to be able to play every single one of them. So that will open, of course, opportunities for Roony Bardaghji to play in his place. Also, with Lamine Yamal sometimes playing as an attacking midfielder, that's also going to be a good opportunity for Roony Bardaghji to start as a right winger. So despite the heavy interest in the player, he's not going anywhere during the winter transfer market. And of course, my worry is that come the summer, that might change, because even though Roony right now is happy being Lamine Yamal's sub and getting limited minutes, for how long is he going to want to stay like that? So we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully not. Hopefully he stays in Barcelona, because I think he's an incredible player with lots of potential. But of course, when so many clubs keep knocking on your door, well, it becomes tempting to leave. Anyways, that is all for this video. I uploaded another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. I'm going live again. Yes, 3 videos today, since I didn't make any yesterday. By the time you're done with all of them, well, you would have been all caught up. So stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barça.